Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do the ellipses. Alright. So here's completing the square with ellipses. Remember, the first rule is to always go ahead and rewrite it so that you've got your x squared, or your x's, and then your y's together. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then go ahead and get the single number over to the other side. Now, we're not doing the blanks right away because the whole thing is that we have to get the squared terms all by themselves so that there's nothing in front of it. There can only be a positive 1. So right here, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to divide out a 16 from both the x squared and the 64x. Oops, I said 64. Alright, so that's going to turn this into a 4x and this one into an x squared. Now I can go ahead and put the blanks in. Likewise right here with this one, I'm going to pull out a 9 out of both of these. So now I've got 9y squared, and that's going to be minus 6y. And I'm going to go ahead and put a blank in there. And then that's going to equal negative 1 plus blank plus blank. Alright. So right here, I'm going to take this number, the 4, the b, I'm going to divide that by 2. I'm going to square it. So it's going to be 2 squared, so it's going to get me 4 here. Now normally I'd put 4 over here, but instead I have 16 times 4. Because this 16 on the outside is also affecting this 4 on the inside. So over here I don't have 4, I have 64. All right. And then over here I've got a negative 6 divided by 2 squared, and that's going to get me a negative 3 squared, which gets me a 9. And then that's 9 times 9. So that's 81. Okay, so now what I've got to figure out next is what's going to go in my parentheses. So I've got a 16 on the outside. Inside here, I've got an x plus 2 squared, and that's because that's a 2. And then on the inside here, or right here in this bubble, I've got a y minus 3, because this is a negative 3 squared. And when I combine these together, 64 plus 81 minus 1, that gets me 144. Now with ellipses, they always have to equal 1. So I'm going to divide everything by 144. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and reduce. So 16 divided by 144 is going to get me 1/9. So this is x plus 2 squared over 9. And then I've got y minus 3 squared, and 9 divided by 144 is going to get me 1/16. And then this equals 1. Okay, so for this one, I can go ahead, I could find everything I needed to for this one, where I could go ahead and find that my center, that's located at negative 2, positive 3, negative 2, positive 3. So I'm going to go ahead and find that over here at negative 2, positive 3. And then I'm going to have my vertices and my co-vertices. So the larger number right here is 16. So this is going to be where my vertices are. So this is my a squared. So that means that a is going to equal 4. So I'm going to go up and down 4 because that's on my y right here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this one right here, the 9, the smaller number, is going to be my co-vertices. So if that equals b squared equals 9, that means that b is going to equal 3. And that's underneath my x, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 units. Alright, so now I can go ahead and draw my ellipse. Right. And then I gotta find my foci, which in order to find the foci, I have to figure out what c squared is. So I've got to go c squared equals a squared minus b squared. A squared is 16, b squared is 9. So that's going to get me 7. So c equals the square root of 7. So what this means is that I'm going from my center and I'm going to go along my major axis. So in the same directions as my vertices, I'm going to go positive and negative square root 7. So that means I'm going to take square root 7 and I'm going to go up and I'm going to go down. So I'll put square root 7 into my calculator and that gets me 2.65. So I'm going to go up 2.65 and down 2.65. Now I know where those coordinates are because again I'm going from my center. So I'm going along that y-axis. So I'm taking the center that I found right here at -2, 3, and I'm going up and down on that y-axis. So that's going to be plus or minus, oops, sorry, I wrote that weird. That's going to be plus or minus square root 7 added onto that 3, because that's the y-axis that I'm moving along. Okay, my vertices, those are located at -2, -1, and -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -2, +7. Okay? And then my covertices, those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at -5 and +3, and at 1, +3. All right. Let's try one more. Right here, I'm going to go ahead, rewrite it so x's and y's are together. So I've got 4x squared plus 16x plus y squared minus 8y equals -28. I'm just bringing that 28 over here. So now I need to go ahead and pull out the 4 because they both share a 4. So I'm going to go 4x squared plus 4x plus blank. Again, I'm not pulling out an x from here because if I did that, then I would not be able to do this step. And the whole purpose is to be able to do this step. I cannot complete the square without an x squared and an x, or a y squared and a y. Okay. So now there's nothing I can do right here because this y squared already has a +1 in front of it, nothing else. So I'm just going to keep that like it is, but I'm going to add that blank. So now here, we go ahead and put those blanks in. And then we're going to complete the square here. So here, I'm going to, oops, sorry, I'm jumping again here. So I've got to go ahead and figure out what the b divided by 2 squared is. So it's 2 squared. So it gives me a 4 here. Now I can't forget that I've got to multiply by this 4 on the outside. So 4 times 4 is going to get me 16 here. Here, I've got -8 divided by 2 squared. So that gets me -4 squared, which also gets me 16. But this one I don't have anything to multiply it by. I mean, unless you want to multiply it by 1, that's fine. So over here I've got a 16. So here I've got 4 on the outside. This is going to become x plus 2 squared, because that's a 2. And then this is going to become y minus 4, because that's a -4. And then this over here, 16 plus 16 minus 28 gets me 4. So now again, this has to equal 1. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 4 to all terms. That's going to actually cancel out here and here. So it's going to leave me with x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared over 4, and that equals 1. All right, let's go ahead and complete this. So my center, that's located at -2, +4. So we're going to go to -2, +4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do our vertices. Remember, those are always the biggest numbers. So this one has an invisible 1 underneath it. This one's 4. So this means that my a squared equals 4. So my a equals 2. My vertices are going to be located up and down 2 because that's underneath my y. So I'm going to go up 2, down 2. And that means that I'm moving along 1 on my x-axis here because this is my b squared. And so b equals 1. So this is a small little ellipse compared to the last one. Wow, that's really bad. Okay, let's try that again. Close enough. Alright, I wonder if I can expand that. I've never tried. Oh, look, I can move it a little bit. Not perfect. Alright, so what we've got to figure out now is where all of these things are located. So the vertices, those are along my y-axis, so you can always look at your foldable and you can go, okay, so this is my center, and this is going to be my h, and then my k plus or minus my a. Or I can just go -2, and then up 2, and -2, 2, 4, 6, up 6. And then my co-vertices, those are at -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, -3, 4, and -1, 4. And my foci. So in order to find those, I have to do c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So 4 minus 1, so that gives me 3. So c equals the square root of 3. So again, I'm going to be going up and down square root of 3 from my center. If I put square root of 3 in my calculator, square root of 3 is 1.73. So I'm going to go up 1.7. So you can see I'm almost up here, and down 1.7. So those are going to be located at -2, 4 plus or minus the square root of 3. Because again, I'm going to -2, 4, and I'm adding square root 3, and I'm subtracting square root 3. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, I will show you how to go from given parts to writing the equation.